We're seeing the security personnel trooping in one by one to cast their ballots here at the New Durban South polling station. As I speak, 500 eligible voters have cast their ballots out of the over 1,000 we're expecting here. And the New Durban North as well, quite a few number of them have voted. We're expecting 492 to vote in that particular polling station. About 830 have gone through the exercise so far. Largely, it's been a very peaceful and smooth exercise here in the Eastern for the special voting exercise. We're being informed that there are spots of allegations of votes buying. We're keeping an eye on that. When we do clarify that, we would bring our viewers up to speed what that situation looks like.
And Yvonne, yes, you mentioned that we're picking indications of vote buying, but any idea in which parts of the region this is happening at? We know that the Eastern region predominantly votes the NPP. They enjoy a substantial majority from the region. And so do we have an idea, even as we try to get confirmation which areas from the region these reports are coming from?
These allegations of the Asante Manso across the constituency, that is where these particular allegations are coming from. The Eastern region has 33 constituencies, largely, as you rightly said. The MPP had leverage over this region, having about 20 plus seats, while the NDC have 8 seats, that is the parliamentary. When it comes to the presidential as well, past elections when the sitting president, Anado, was in position, he had 60% and 62% thereabout, with John Mahama trailing with some 34%. So this has been the voting trend like. We're having a new candidate for the NPP and John Mahama still in position for the opposition NDC. It'll be interesting to look like what the vote will look like in the Eastern region. Once we know that Nanado was from this particular region.
Right then, Yvonne, thank you for those details. That's my colleague Yvonne Nikwe from the Eastern region, and it's not the only place where special voting is currently happening at. We know that in the Western region as well, that exercise which was postponed is taking place there as well. We'll seek to touch base in the Western region and get details for you as to exactly what's transpiring, but a bit more for you here on your election command center. There are still accessibility considerations to address in order to secure the electoral rights of persons with disability in the country. Now, ahead of the December 7 general election, persons with disability are asking for improved inclusion and accessibility in Ghana's electoral process.
That the person can independently think and take decisions by him or herself. I think the person should be allowed to vote.
Ekuya and Joseph are individuals with intellectual disabilities who intend to vote on December 7.
I want to vote this year. Last year, my grandmother helped me to vote.
I think that they should bring it to the disability schools, the schools that are around, like the acquired rehabilitation sector. You can have a place where disabled people, for students and for teachers.
If information is not broken down to the understanding of people who have mobility challenges, and so they will not be everywhere others go, then there will be a challenge.
Despite the progress made, persons with intellectual or psychosocial disabilities remain an often unheard group of voters who are still frequently excluded from the political process. Some may face legal, institutional and social barriers that prevents them from voting, running for office or having a say in their lives. Although progress has been made to make the electoral process more inclusive, much more needs to be done in terms of improving accessibility to voting centers.
EC committed to giving preferential treatment to persons with disabilities when they get to the polling centers to vote. And now if person with albinism, if the sun is scorching like this and you ask me to join a long queue under the sun, I will definitely weigh my health against the election and leave, and I will not vote. So we are calling on the EC to make all their returning officers or presiding officers or whoever they are to be aware of this particular commitment?
First thing that can be done is making the places, the polling stations accessible for persons living with disabilities, especially those using wheelchairs. If they are open gutters, I think between now and Saturday, we should find a way of covering those gutters so that they can move freely. If the person with disability does not call for assistance, don't just readily assume that the person needs assistance and the person needs your assistance to vote. No.
Indeed, to be truly included, every voice must be heard, including.
And that's the latest with persons with disability, and they are still making and pushing for urgent reforms in terms of assisting them in being able to be a part of the elections. That will take us on to our very first break on what is NewsCentral for you this afternoon. When we return, we're live to campaign grounds where the expectation is that final rallies will be held. We'll take you live there and get a bit more details. But what we know right now, just before we go on the break, is that voter enthusiasm is on the high in the Effutu constituency in the central region ahead of Saturday's elections. Now, that part of the country and that current state of the economy is likely, as we're learning, to influence voter choice in the presidential elections. There's also a strong sense of satisfaction regarding the performance of the incumbent Member of Parliament, Alexander Fenimaki, who is the parliamentary candidate for the NPP. Akwesiado is our man in the region. He's been monitoring what exactly has been happening there. Akwesi, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Talk to us. It's become an NPP dominant constituency, yet the individuals you've been speaking to say the economy will be something they look at before they decide to vote. Does that suggest they will not be voting for the NPP? What have they been telling you?
Okay, so thank you very much. Their sentiment, even though it's something that is very key in this particular election. You do know that we spoke to quite a number of few constituents of the Effutu area. And so we may not be expecting that this would, measure in the result of the election. But we cannot also downplay what they are calling for, because we do know that the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Martin has been in Parliament for 3 good terms and then seeking a 4th term. It means that he's been in Parliament for the past 12 years. The people say that yes, they have witnessed all the developmental progress he has been able to achieve in this particular constituency. But then also there are some voters who are clamoring for a new leader for the Effutu constituency. And we do know that this Effutu constituency is one which has the people being very much interested in traditional and then cultural affairs. And so all those factors are also playing out in this particular elections we're heading towards to. So I have been speaking to some voters here in the constituency, and it looks as if that the voters appear to be quite divided, because there are those who want to see the Honorable Alexander Afenyo-Martin returning to Parliament, and there are those who are also yearning for a new member of Parliament to represent them. So if you have time, let's listen to what some of the voters have been telling us ahead of Saturday's election.
Certainly, Akwesi, we can listen to them.
Yes. And as I make I diabetes, and nobody be many one making us out to Abba. Maybe to say children's hospital, courts, and I will answer the cancer library, and then nobody be.
Oh, say to me, Metro Bannis say. This year, the way economy near Connebro and your craft. Since I shall last 4 years. The way your money was situation in between this year, cried better the way in Kailashi year. One more to 10 year Masman Kayakwa. Ye, the field, ye caught beton. I don't say, yes. Yeah, what I answer this year, election year, the year better. Every week you be quite be a woman to you. Then I shall say, any agent, so I had the best son.
Oh, about 20 dear, yes, share you're sitting there 4 years back me. Osha nema so sabebre. Osha ye transportation idea. A double into Osha and your cross is a simu afiji na say ye kasa ye two ama nyoto suna no one ya so dia. A budget is said by 4 years time no. A better times 4 ama ye. So me share my sitting dia am simu am share beboa me.
Afi ya hwe abatu afi na sisi asadi anoma akon enye kura se na economy omotutu nnomem sisi anoma.
And you had a number of the constituents there. Akwesi, you're still on. You've been speaking to the incumbent member of parliament as to what his expectations are in terms of the outcome. We know that in 2020 he improved the MPP's fortunes in the constituency. What's his plan going into the December elections? Just some 48 hours away, I should say.
Okay, so the elections here is facing 3 candidates. We have the incumbent MP, Honorable Alexander Pamena Afenyo Martin, featuring on behalf of the NDC, and then we have Dr. James Kofianan for the NDC, and then we have an independent candidate, that is Louisa Mwabeng. And let me mention that the candidate is telling the gates of the police because she hasn't been able to meet the bail conditions set by the Winneba District Court. But let me say that the Honorable Alexander Afenyo Martin is not feeling pressured. I have been engaging him, and he is telling me that, look, this is a done deal. He believes and trusts that the developmental agenda he's been able to set in the constituency the last 12 years is going to attract many more votes to his side. What he is now interested in is to ensuring that the NPP presidential candidate attains many more votes from this particular constituency. And so let's listen to what the Honorable Alexander Afenyo Martin has been telling us.
Permit me to reiterate the following social infrastructure that I have undertaken with the aim of building an economic empowerment for job creation and for transformation of our community. 1, 3 secondary schools are coming up to add up to WINSEC. 1 at Eswechi, 2 at Izechi, 2nd at Atentu, and the 3rd one at New Winneba.
And that's the Honorable Alexander Afenyo Martin there. And Akwesi, thank you very much for those details. That's Akwesi Ado. He's my colleague in the central region, providing details there for us. Let's return to the capital, where we know that there are 2 huge final rallies expected in parts of the country, the University of Ghana campus and somewhere at Medina. And all of the campaigning, which has been ongoing since the start of the year, is winding up a lot later today. Daniel Opoku is at the University of Ghana, where the NPP is holding its Possibilities Victory Rally. He's joining us right now from the University of Ghana with details. Daniel, talk to us. I see behind you preparations underway, but talk to us about the mood and the euphoria where you are.
Rightly so, as we have just mentioned, Bawele, we are currently at the University of Ghana campus, where the MPP is to hold it Possibilities Rally. So currently, preparations are underway. Earlier on, I counted about 40 to 41 canopies, which has currently been mounted, and others are also right at the entrance of the University of Ghana cashing in. Party paraphernalia are being sold, party T-shirts are being sold, party caps are also being sold. People or the supporters are gradually trooping in, and the national dignitaries are yet to arrive. Gradually, the place is becoming gingered up. Gradually, the place is being energized. It's being energized. You see party members who are coming in gradually. So the mood is gradually building up, waiting for the arrival of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is the guest of honor, and all the current presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, then his running mates and other party dignitaries, including Mr. Effutu, president of this country. Members are quietly and patiently waiting for the arrival of all these dignitaries now.
And just talk to us. You mentioned a number of these supporters trooping in. How's the traffic situation like, trying to get onto the University of Ghana campus?
Right, so man, when you drive through the Flagstaff House to the 37 military hospital, I spotted a number of police officers standing by the roadside. I do recall the Ghana Police Service issuing a statement trying to create alternative routes through from Flagstaff House to 37 military hospital, then to Shiashi. There's a right turn on your right hand from Shiashi. Right after Shiashi, you get to the University of Ghana traffic light before you turn through the University of Ghana main entrance. Police officers have been stationed at every point on the way, directing traffic that will have free flow of traffic. Gradually, traffic is building up. And before the program starts around 3 to 4, we are very confident that the Ghana Police Service will be able to direct traffic that will not have a lot of traffic and vehicles being blocked on the roads. Now, as I speak to you, the traffic is flowing, but let's wait around 2 or 3 p.m. and see when everybody is heading towards this direction, then we get to know how the traffic. But we hope that Ghana Police Service will be able to manage the traffic affairs this afternoon, Mawana.
Right then, Daniel, thank you very much. That's Daniel Opoku, who's with the Baumia campaign team, who's been following them as they've crisscrossed and sojourned across the country, seeking to convince the Ghanaian voter that the NPP flag bearer is the right choice to lead the country for yet another 4 years. We can take you elsewhere where the ECOWAS election observer mission, but just before we go there, we get the indication as well that the NDC rally expected at Medina as well is also ready in itself to kick off. Kamala Kluche has been following the John Mahama campaign team. He is joining us right now. Same enclave, really, if you want to look at the geographical location where these two major rallies are expected. It's brought about conversations about security. It's why the police has done a number of deployment. Kamala, talk to us about what the place is looking like, traffic situation, and ease of convenience in being able to get to the rally grounds.
Well, I can tell you for certainty that John Mahama is not at the campaign and the rally ground as of yet. As I speak with you, it's still in the Ashanti region. It's done 273 constituencies, doing the rest that would match up to 276 before he leaves this afternoon for the Greater Accra region. Just a short while ago, behind me in the palace of the Jabehini, who is also the chairman of the Council of State, Nana Uso, the second. The meeting John Mahama just concluded with him a short while ago, where he's been telling him that yes, of course, he knows John Mahama is a gentleman, and he knows that the politics that he does is a clean one. Assuring and giving him a further advice to stick to that, and also championing forward the very things that Otunfo have been saying to John Mahama, that he should continue telling the people of the country region the good things that he's done for them. He should constantly remind them the choice is for the people. And with the numbers that John Mahama has had over the period of 6 days campaigning in the country region, it clearly shows that there's some amount of work the NDC has done with respect to the target of the 30%, that is 30 to 35% that they intend to garner from the country region. But he has a rally, he's just addressing a rally from the job. So he goes to the city where there will be a mega rally to wrap up his 6-day tour of the country region, where he will get up to the Greater Accra region to address that national rally that would be happening later today.
Right then, Kamala. So interestingly, John Mahama is rounding up campaigning in the Ashanti region before he makes his way to the Greater Accra region for the final rally. Just touch base with us. He's at the 274th constituency. What are the last two he's expected to be at before he jets off to the Greater Accra region?
So he's going to do the Kwabre East, he will do a Joabeng constituency, and he will also be doing the Effutu constituency, which will all come up to 276 respectively. Well, it's been a very strong push by the flag bearer of the NDC. For instance, yesterday he spent almost all his day right in the Galanty enclave area and ended up this morning around 4:30 a.m. somewhere in the new Edibiasi area. And the response of the people, especially the miners, to the fact that yes, they appreciate the new level of fight he wants to bring It is all about jobs that they need. It is not their will to spoil the environment or to cause the havoc that they are giving the environment. But with the new plans that John Mahama has in place for them, one, to reclaim the lands that have been lost, the forests that have been depleted, and grow trees, they believe in it because it equally offers them jobs as well. And if a calculated effort is done with respect to that, they are willing and will avail themselves to this, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is that they have jobs. But it also remains how John Mahama would be able to do all of this across the country, looking at how widespread the Galamsey issue is. But the commitment and zeal is there, and he's been getting a lot of assurance, especially from the key two states. They will partner him. One of the things that has stopped him almost at everywhere he goes is to the effect that the number of people from the Sanctuary region who have moved to the campaign grounds, and I can say for certainty, you will not even see details of them or people who have been moved from, with buses and all that. Naturally, these people have come to the campaign grounds and expressing the fact that, yes, they have stayed with the MPP for long, but it's about time that they give the chance to the NDC. It's about the economics of their life, it's about the economy of the pocket that they owe. And it's for that reason they are willing to go to the polls this time around to do it for the NDC and John Mahama.
Absolutely, Komla. Always a pleasure coming to you. That's my colleague Komla Kluche with the John Mahama campaign team. And so 3 constituencies, Jiso, Kwabri East, and then Dwabing, before he heads to the Greater Accra region for the final rally of the opposition NDC, and you can see a lot more work being put in. But we are your election command center, and the country is just, 2 days away to yet another major election. While that may seem yet another reminder of a democratic process, a concern looms large over the heads of over 500,000 people who potentially could stay away from the process in its entirety. And Yunam Haliga explores the conundrum of Adventists some 48 hours to the polls.
Over 18 million registered voters are expected to cast their ballot in Saturday's election. Of that number, some 500,000 are in a dilemma caught between the civic responsibility and a religious belief that has spanned their very existence. Not many Adventists know clearly where they stand.
Election day this year falls on a Saturday, the Sabbath day, a holy day where no man shall work but rest and fellowship with their Maker. The Adventist Church had earlier in the year pushed to have the election date changed. With their advocacy fallen short, they have been left resigned to their fate. We recognize the long-standing civic responsibility on our members. The last of their statement on the matter reads, the Church, however, says our long-standing conviction that voting on Saturday, that is the Sabbath of the Lord, is not in alignment with our religious beliefs. They, however, urge members to prayerfully ensure that their decisions are consistent with the Adventist belief on the sanity of the Sabbath.
But where do Adventists stand?
Yeah, I'm definitely voting. I'm voting because I believe voting in itself is a good thing, because you are going to select a leader to head the country for the next 4 years. And even though the Bible says, gives us what to do, makes us know what to do on the Sabbath, voting is part of one of the good things that I think we should do, because the church votes on people appointed to hold positions on the Sabbath. I don't think it's something they should drag that much. They've made it known to them that it clashes with their day of worship. They should leave it to the church members, because at the end of the day, they face, the church members, they face the economic situations.
It is our civic right, like responsibility, to vote on this day, because as a citizen, it's your civic responsibility to participate in a democratic process, such as voting.
With Ghana on the brink of a new dawn, the debate will continue on whether or not religious beliefs should be considered when national election dates are fixed. Enyunam Haliga, TV3 News, Accra.
Back in your studio here, NewsCentral, and we know that we're continuing in the build-up towards the December general election, which is barely 48 hours from now. And the Christian Council of Ghana and the Eminent Persons Group of religious leaders, they've called on the Electoral Commission to prioritize diligence and avoid what they say are little mistakes. The call comes against the backdrop of historical skepticism and the controversies surrounding the work of the Electoral Commission.
Transparency from the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission must ensure transparency in all electoral processes, ballot counting, and collation at all levels to the very final declaration. Open communication with the public will foster trust and confidence in the electoral system. We encourage the Commission to engage with civil society organizations and observers to enhance oversight and address any concerns promptly. We entreat the Commission to be very diligent and avoid little mistakes that would have potential to cause mistrust.
As the Christian Council adding their voice to the demands that the Electoral Commission conducts work that is diligent and, in their words, avoid little mistakes. We're taking a break now. When we return, we have a bit more stories as we continue to build up towards the final rallies of the two major parties, the NPP and the NDC. Please do stay with us. officer. He's been speaking.
Call on all our teaming supporters in the Ashanti region, sympathizers and all Ghanaians who yearn for change to come out in their numbers and vote massively for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and all NDC parliamentary candidates in the 47 constituencies. We shall continue to collaborate with the state security agencies to guarantee the safety of every Ghanaian before, during, and after the elections. Every single voter will be saved, will be safe. Every single vote will be counted and accounted for, and the true will of the people shall prevail on December 7th. The NDC in the Ashanti region wishes to serve a warning to any individual or any group of individuals who harbor any intentions of rigging or aiding the rigging agenda of their collaborators and their paymasters in the Ashanti region to have a rethink. We know the plans of such individuals and their collaborators in the New Patriotic Party and the Electoral Commission, and we have them under our surveillance 24 hours. And they will have a shock of their lives if they try. Finally, we urge the general public to actively participate in the monitoring processes at every polling station in order to protect the sanctity of the ballot. Let us be bold to defend the cause of freedom and of right.
That's Abbas Nuruddin. Ibrahim Abubakar is in that region for us, a region we've been to already because of the presence of John Mahama. Ibrahim, it does appear that in these last days, practically today being the last day of campaigning, the NDC is wanting to make its presence quite felt in the stronghold of their opponents.
Exactly, Mauna, dying moment for the campaigns. And just yesterday or some few in the morning, earlier in the morning, we also had some members of the Movement for Change switching camp to the New Patriotic Party. And just some few minutes ago, we've also seen members of the All People's Party also throwing their support to the National Democratic Congress. You know, after today, there wouldn't be campaign again. So today, everybody is stepping up its campaign and also mapping up its strategy. In fact, the NDC is saying they are ready for victory, but then they have keen eyes in the Ashanti region. Mauna, it appears no one wants to be left out of this election. Just before getting here, some 5 minutes ago, I've also seen buses moving up north. These are buses that have been hired by the various political parties to convey persons who intend to cast their ballot in the northern part of the country. So large numbers of people are joining the buses just so they will be able to go to their various constituencies and ensure that on Saturday they will be able to exercise their franchise. So the campaign activities is ongoing. We know the NDC and MPP will have their final rallies in Accra. So today there isn't much of any mountain of political platform. It's just press conference upon press conference. All of them signing on to the peace pact, or telling people that they will ensure a peaceful election. But then they have also made sure their intention that they will resist any attempts to rig the election. But before I go, I also try and engage with the founder of APP, who I earlier said, together with his numbers.
They have thrown their weight behind the NDC.
Also throwing their support behind the National Democratic Congress. Why this final moment, throwing your support behind NDC?
Yeah, it is something that we decided just yesterday because we think that NDC is the best option as at now. And we found out that we join hands together with them is the best option, because if you look at the current situation of this country, there is no way Ghanaians will decide for MPP.
That's your opinion, of course.
MPP, they will never come. So there is, if even you vote for MPP, it will be a curse on you.
Oh, yeah, so we wouldn't take this. Sorry, but that's Kenneth Nanakwame, who is the founder of APP. Like I said, together with his executive, they have also thrown their support behind the NDC. And we've also seen, like I said, members of Movement for Change also throwing their weight behind the New Patriotic Party earlier in the morning.
Ibrahim, just before you go, we've talked about the NDC. You mentioned earlier as well, persons associated with the Movement for Change announcing their decision to join the New Patriotic Party. For the party itself, has it been addressing the media in any way or form, even as they await this final rally in the Greater Accra region, or it's been all quiet from their quarters in the Ashanti region?
Well, the party will be addressing the media at 2 o'clock, but just 2 days ago, the regional executives addressed the media. Like I said, they have also committed to the Peace Park and have also stated that they will ensure that every single ballot counts, every single ballot is protected. So it's a two-way affair, but they'll have their final press interaction with the media at 2 p.m. this afternoon. We know the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is also in town commissioning some hospital projects and other projects today. So he will also be wrapping up by 4 p.m. Then you head to Accra and join the final rally of the New Patriotic Party.
It does look like we have a long day on our hands here in the capital, where these two final rallies are expected. Two special guests of honors for the respective rallies. Still in the Ashanti region, the president, as we just heard, Ibrahim, launching a number of hospital projects, expected to leave the region around, what, 4 p.m. John Mahama also expected in Accra. He's expected to be in 3 constituencies to wrap up his tour of the Ashanti region. It does appear that it will be a long day for you and those of you in parts of the Greater Accra region, the East Legon Enclave and then the Medina area as well. But from the Ashanti region, let's take you to the north as well and catch a sense of what the atmosphere is like there as well. Christopher Amwako is my colleague in the northern region. He surveys the entire area for us here at TV3 FM and Media General. Let's try and get a sense from him as well what really the northern fever is like in terms of the elections. A closely contested region really from the 2020 elections, where on the parliamentary front it was split 9 out of 9, and the NDC just edged it slightly on the presidential front in that part of the country. Let's speak to Christopher now, get a sense of really what it is like there as well. Chris, thank you very much for joining us. Talk to us as to what's happening in the north as well. We know there have been final rallies in respective constituencies. How has all of that come together in the lead up to today, which is the day where all campaign is expected to come to an end?
Yes, so Mawena, if you can hear me, here in the northern region, political parties and other candidates are bringing their campaigns to a close today. Earlier today in the Tamale South constituency, the Member of Parliament for the Tamale South constituency and former minority leader Haruna Idrisu marched through the principal streets of his constituency here in Tamale to garner the grassroots for Saturday's historic elections. And while addressing the people, he's been talking about the fact that he has been hearing statements that the northern region is now becoming a stronghold of the MPP, which he vehemently diffused because, according to him, the northern region remains the stronghold of the NDC, and this election is going to be a testament of the fact that the northern region continues to be a strong hold of the NDC. He's also been talking about the fact that the NDC has positioned itself to win or reclaim some lost constituencies in the 2020 general elections. He's been talking about the fact that the NDC will reclaim the Zanzugu constituency, Bimbila constituency, Bushagu and Karga constituencies. He says that Tolong is not an exception, and so he believes that the NDC is going to win majority of the parliamentary seats in the northern region. In the general overview of the region, if you go to the Sanarigo constituency, you go to the Tamale Central constituency, and other constituencies in the northern region like Bushagu, this morning, a lot of party supporters belonging to the NDC turned the principal streets to march ahead of Saturday's crucial election. In the camp of the MPP as well, some health work have been held earlier today to also garner the grassroots ahead of the crucial Saturday's election. And so the atmosphere continues to remain peaceful. Political parties bringing their campaigns to a closure later today. And tomorrow, we may not see the rallies in electoral areas. We may not see them converging in groups, but they are saying that they will continue with their door-to-door even tomorrow until Saturday when voting starts.
All right then, Chris, I appreciate those details as well. And so all across the country, really, all the respective political parties doing their bit to bring campaign to a halt. We've seen walks, like Chris has been telling us, in the northern regions as well, as they are ready themselves to pave the way for the December elections. Right now, under 48 hours, a reminder that we are your election command center, and this is where you must be to ensure to catch all the details as they come through all throughout from tomorrow, the 6th of December to the 10th, until declaration. We are your election command center, and keep your dial right here. Let's talk to you about another interesting aspect of the entire process of elections, and that's political campaign songs. They're evolved into powerful tools for spreading campaign messages and promoting a candidate's brand. But how do these catchy tunes shape public perception, sway undecided voters, and contribute to the overall success of a campaign? Well, Frederick Kunzo Tiani has been finding out as December 7 fast approaches.
Call it a good blend of lyrics and rhyme, and you will not be wrong. Campaign songs have assumed a place of importance in the mix of political communication. And it's no wonder over time, politicians knowing this too well have made it a critical passing. With one of the earliest at the time, the NDC's national anthem composed by Dual Aka. The span of campaign music was both for the love of money, political parties and candidates.
I did a song for them, you know, but anything I do, I put myself in it, you know. I make sure it is the best. So, yeah, I have love for the party, and I think that contributed to that factor.
Growing up, I was already into the NDC match. So I did those songs. To be frank with you, NDC songs I was doing that time, I did not charge anybody for any pin. I just did it willing. They asked me, and I said, okay, I will volunteer and do it.
By the 2000 elections, the MPP campaign had decided on Cindy Thompson hit song Irade Kasa to push their message at a time when Ghanaians were thought to be in the shackles of economic hardship. Was not only a hit song in its own right, but had become synonymous to the campaign, making way for many more. And the very famous Why are these songs such a catch? Political communication strategist Professor Kobe Mensah lets us in on it.
Clearly, you are able to have their attention. You're able to drive home your message. And then, of course, if you're lucky, or if the voter is not the kind of, very dogmatic voter, but there's somebody that is actually a floating voter, open to new ideas, they probably may want to pay attention to your message.
Notwithstanding how famous a song is, it does not guarantee victory for a candidate. A must-have for the leading parties and their candidates. But why?
what I do know is that it energizes our base, and for a campaign and for any political party, that is very important to energize your base.
The victory will be a product of our hard work and the resolve and commitment of the people of Ghana from all walks of life. But the music will actually rejuvenate the spirit. That is what the music does.
After the NDC's defeat in 2020, it switched tracks to a few beats slower. That's Mahamafa, which will have its own contest with a remix of Nana Yewena and a song by dancehall giant Samini. Musicians have done their part, but which song immediately rings a bell to voters till date?
The campaign song that is my favorite is Onapo Mahama Onapo Mahama Onapo Mahama Onapo. I like the beat and the variations and everything that goes into the song, the drama of the song and everything.
My favorite political song, I think, is the NDC anthem. It goes like, from victory unto victory, the NDC shall lead.
With this clear memory, what makes a good political song and why are they such a catch?
They told me I should take the words and make a hit out of it. So that was it. And I did it with Daddy Lumba. And it became the biggest political song.
You don't just praise the candidate. You try to fix some of the things that the candidate wanted to do or intend to do. I fix the message into the songs.
When you actually deploy a song, you are invariably trying to prime the target voter through a certain, beats, through a certain, song types.
You can measure the effectiveness by looking at the way people jam to it. If people are, some of the songs are so boring. They sing, they are like funeral dirges. Others too, before the moment they play it, whether you are NDC or MPP, you feel like getting up to jam.
And do these campaign songs really inform voter choices?
No, NDC have the best songs, and MPP too. This year I think they are trying, but that will not really make me vote for any of them.
I can be a fan of Shatawale, I can be a fan of Stonebwoy, but that doesn't necessarily mean when it comes to politics, that person should, because that person has sang the song, that should have an influence on me.
It's entertaining me. I listen to them and then I'm just happy to hear it. I'm just happy to listen to them, but they don't actually convince me to vote for the party.
Well, political parties and political scientists disagree.
I think they would. When you see Dr. Bawumia, you listen to him, you listen to his message. Every young person, I believe, should be energized that there's hope for this country.
The music will come, but the commitment of the people of Ghana is enough to get us the victory.
It's convincing enough, yes. And some people, when they like the tune, why not? You vote for the political party that's there.
The impact, however, on composers of this song may be far-reaching.
You do something for a party, automatically the other one, they don't really like you.
It brought me into the limelight, and then people got to know me much.
It's yet another election year, and campaigns are already marinating in songs to drive home their messages. King Palute's Sisifia, MPP, Kwei, a response from the NDC. But the two major parties aren't the only ones investing in music. The CPP, APC, and Movement for Change have all released campaign songs. You probably would have enjoyed the catchy lyrics and clever rhymes over the years. As the political campaign season advances towards the December 7th elections, political parties will continue to use music to convey their message to you. But ultimately, the choice is yours. Frederick Kunzotiane, TV3 News, Accra.
Together we win, we win, we win, Ghana rise again.
And fantastic report there by Frederick Kunzotiane, detailing what really is the exciting parts of the campaign, where you see people jamming to lots of music. And it's been songs you've been hearing on principal streets in the capital and different parts of the country, because the political parties, particularly the major ones, now have loudspeakers blasting music all across the country. But we'll take you on another break. When we return, a bit more stories, and then we wrap up for you. Stay with us. is being organized by the two leading parties, the NDC and then the NPP as well. We're speaking to executives of the party just to get a sense really of what to expect from the respective political parties. We're starting from the quarters of the National Democratic Congress. Its Deputy General Secretary, Mustafa Gbande, is joined us via the phone right now for a bit more in terms of what's expected today. Mr. Gbande, I appreciate that you can speak to us this afternoon. You've been journeying the country all throughout the year, all executives, yourself inclusive. Your flag bearer, even at this point as we speak, is in the Ashanti region where he's expected to visit 3 more constituencies before he touches down. What's the expectation ahead of today, even for you as a party headed into the December elections? December 7, I should say. Mr. Gbande, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, I presume you didn't hear my question. I'm asking what is in store for all of your supporters who are continuing to make their way there, the Medina Park, in expectation of your final rally. What can they expect, and what are you expecting as a party as well in terms of this final rally, some 48 hours to the elections?
Thank you very much. Today's rally is supposed to be the lighting of a new light for our nation, the beginning of the liberation that we all have been waiting for in the last 7 years. That will bring to an end heightened level of corruption. That will bring to an end the hardship of the ordinary Ghanaian caused by this government. That will bring to an end irresponsible governance to the extent that today government officials are sharing physical state money for votes as if Ghana doesn't have a problem. That will be the end today. Today, Ghanaians should expect a big announcement from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
A big announcement? One that he has not made already?
No, one that he has not made already. One he will be making is for the nation to be assured that the 2024 election, which comes in the next 48 hours, will be peaceful and absolutely peaceful. And that all Ghanaians will and supposed to move and go and vote freely, because the NDC has taken full control of every aspect of the election. We are in charge of the systems. We will protect every single life and every single vote casted for the NDC. We would ensure that we don't do anything untoward. We would not also allow anything untoward to happen. President Mahama intends to govern a Ghana that is peaceful, a Ghana that has room for both the NDC and the MPP, a Ghana where every single Ghanaian will feel at home and feel at peace. That is the big announcement. And again, to also thank all Ghanaians who have supported us throughout this campaign across the length and breadth of this country, the teeming youth who believe that the change must occur. We know that in 48 hours there will be a new government of Ghana.
Just a quick one from you, though, in terms of the proximity of these final rallies. Why the choice of Medina, knowing very well that the NPP was holding theirs at Legon?
No, the MPP chose Medina after we chose Medina. But that is not a problem.
Right.
Look, all political parties, the NDC and the MPP, we are cousins. We are not at war.
Right then.
The euphoria will be beautiful. A government that is exiting, how they will spend opulent money, and a government that is coming in, how we have united around one another. Our party people will not be violent, and I can assure you that no NDC person will break a law. NDC person will go their way to go and attack any MPP person. It will be a youthful political euphoria. It will be cousins and family members running around We don't have any intention of violence.
I appreciate that you could share these thoughts with us. Let's move from the NDC's camp to that of the NPP. The national youth organizer of the NPP has joined us as well. Thank you very much for speaking to a deputy general secretary, I should say. Haruna Mohammed as well has joined us via the telephone lines as well. I appreciate that you could also join us. You've been hearing from Mustafa Gbande. He says that you're exiting, but really, what message, what final message do you have for Ghanaians in telling them that the governing New Patriotic Party is the best bet and one that they should stick with heading into the elections?
Thank you very much. I would say good afternoon to your charity viewers on TV3. I heard my good brother Mustafa. He has made several other statements which are factually inaccurate, and I would like to state that if we're talking about this particular two candidates and we are going into these final rallies, it is going to be about a campaign between the darkness and the day. The NPP stands for the day, and the NDC is the day of darkness. Everybody knows Dr. Bawumia hasn't been president before. This final rally is going to distinguish and to sell the message of these two particular political parties. And we know our message is very superior.
Right.
We have bold solutions for the good people of Ghana. We have tried and tested His Excellency the Vice President, who is ably prepared for the presidency. Unlike somebody who has come for the presidency and he's been taken away from the stool. And we all know that the NPP has always had a superior record. Today, all of us have been talking about issues of economy. We need somebody that is very honest, and that is why Ghanaians will vote John Mahama back to where he belongs. All of us are talking about LGDP. His Excellency the Vice President is very specific on that matter.
Right.
The recent interview by BBC on John Mahama is indicative that he will send the bill back to Parliament. He will correct the bill. He will not accept it because it is family values. It is not LGBT. So people are talking about it. This is how inconsistent that John Mahama is. So we have not brought heaven to the people of Ghana. But today's rally will demonstrate to the people that we are set and we are set in motion. We are going to face the current problems. We are going to face the global crisis. We are going to face the unemployment issues that we have started, and we are going to make sure that we solve it. We are going to talk about how we are going to complete the Agenda 111. We are going to talk about the road infrastructure that we are doing. We are going to talk about bold solutions. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the only person that will be able to take us to this particular destination.
I appreciate that you could. I appreciate that you could speak to us this afternoon. Just by way of a final message, really, you've said quite a lot, but you say that you'll give Ghanaians hope today.
Yes, I think that if it is about hope, when John Mahama was asked whether he is the hope, he said not really, because he's not sure that he can provide hope for the good people of Ghana. Our man, Dr. Bawumia, is the hope of the people of Ghana. We have demonstrated what we can be able to do. We have demonstrated innovative strategies. Dr. Bawumia is not corrupt. He has not been alleged to be corrupt. He has never been investigated to be corrupt. But John Mahama, who has been investigated, who is internationally known as government official one, is what we all know. We need peaceful elections. We will have only Ghana. This Ghana that we have. We are telling our brothers in the NDC, they should bring the ball down. Because if they intend to bring mayhem, if they intend to cause anything at all, they should know that the woman that have given birth to
they've assured, we had Mustafa Gbande assured that they will not seek to harm any individual and that they are for peace, even as the both of you organize your final rallies in such close areas. But Haruna Mohammed, thank you for speaking to us as well. It's just under 48 hours, really. The decision is yours to make as Ghanaians as to who it is that you want to vote for. A reminder again that we are your election command center, and we will be providing you exclusive details and exclusive coverage as to all that will transpire here in the country from tomorrow, the 6th of December, all through until final declaration. We're going off your screens right now, but we're not leaving you just yet. At 3 p.m., we're back with a bit more for you in terms of elections with Ghana Decides. I am Mawena Egbeta. Pleasure coming your way as always.